everyone, it's Laurie from Cook Scrap Craft, and I'm back with a process video for you today, a special one for this month's Challenge Yourself Challenge. The theme is scrapbooking hard times. So whatever that means to you, whatever or however you want to interpret that, as long as there is a photo of you somewhere on the layout, that's all that matters. Then you can enter to win a great prize for this month. Make sure you head down to the description box so you get the link to the Challenge Yourself blog, and you can find out all the rules for entering. And then you can also see the creations that the other design team members made. So for me, I had these photos, I took these photos of myself back during National Migraine and Headache Awareness Month. And they had a special virtual day event that anybody could participate in. And we were supposed to share a picture that I guess described the hashtag share the pain behind the smile. So when I printed these pictures, I was like, oh my gosh, they're going to be perfect for this hard times challenge, because these are about me getting migraines and how I might be smiling outward, but inside my head is pounding. It feels like I want to stab the left side of my head with a spork and like scoop out the pain. And I do have prescription medication that I take when I get a migraine. I have not found anything yet that prevents them, prescription medication wise or supplement wise, anything like that. Like nothing works to prevent them. So I just get them, and sometimes there's no rhyme or reason. Sometimes there are things that do trigger them, and I try to avoid those things, but sometimes I just get one for no reason, and that's fun too. So I decided that I would use those photos to tell this story on a scrapbook page. And I don't know if it's going to go on my book of me or if it will go in the regular scrapbook, since this was sort of like an event. It's not something that's random. It was for the awareness month. So I might keep this in my regular album. Anyway, what am I doing for the layout? Well, I am cutting 2x2 squares, and I'm doing that because I was inspired by the very first August live that Shamel did earlier this week, and I did create a layout using the stuff in my Best of Both Worlds kit. However, I didn't have a photo because I haven't printed our vacation photos yet, and a lot of the items in the kit are vacation themed. So I did a page based on how Shamel did hers, and I just left a spot for a 4x6 photo. And then I decided I was going to use that same concept of 2x2 squares and use that idea to create a different layout using other papers and embellishments from my stash. And I had random, leftover bits of paper that I had pulled for this layout. I pulled some random embellishments that I thought would work. I really like that Everything Will Be Okay, or it's not here yet. I'm looking at the layout as I do this, but I'm not looking at what I'm doing in the video. Anyway, we'll get to that. So I'm going to do 3 rows of the squares, and I used 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess I used 6 different pattern papers. So this is a great way to use up your stash. Just cut them into squares, especially if they're leftover bits of paper. And then I was using a Vicki Boutin Foundations paper because that's the only white cardstock that I have. So I hate using Vicki Boutin paper if I'm not going to do mixed media. So of course, I cut all the squares. I have them ready to go. I inked all the edges. I put the adhesive backing on. I needed to go do some mixed media. So I used Kitsch Flamingo and did the packaging technique, and then took some shimmers, Don't Rain on My Parade, and did some splatters. And I'll come back in the end to do a few more splatters in that color, as well as in some of the Nuvo Mica Mist Antique Gold. So I've got all my squares stuck down, and yes, some of them are sticking off the page. I will cut them off. Just give me a second. I'm taking a couple of the border strips or banner strips, branding strips, whatever you want to call them, and just kind of cutting them down to size and layering the 3 of them, because I like, the rule of 3s, layering the 3 of them in kind of a haphazard way. I didn't ink the edges of these strips. I could have, but sometimes I find it difficult to ink edges of things that are really small and thin. So I just left them because I was like, let's keep this layout moving along, right? So I haphazardly layered those border strips, and then I am also angling both of the photos and kind of layering them on top of each other. So the first one it kind of tells a story. The first one is me smiling, and then the second one is what I feel like when I actually have a migraine. Like, that's what I really want to do. I just want to close my eyes, go into a dark room, and go to sleep. And that's one of the big migraine triggers for me, is not getting enough sleep. So like, I frequently get migraines at work because I have to get up so early. Although I found a little trick: sleep in and take the later train, and no one has to know, and I probably won't get a migraine that day. So that's what works for me health-wise. It's not something that everybody can do. It's probably not a trigger for every migraine sufferer. That's the weird thing about migraines, is that they're different for every person. The way we experience them, the things that cause them, the medications that work, doesn't work for everybody else. So it's really strange and very frustrating that doctors, including neurologists, the specialists who work with people who have disorders like this, they can't figure it out. Nobody can figure out migraines. And so that's the only thing we know, is that they can be genetic. So like, my mom had them. My mom thinks at least her grandmother had them. She remembers her grandmother sitting outside at like a family reunion at a picnic table with her head in her hands, and people making fun of her. So yeah, obviously way back in like the early 1900s, 1920s, 30s, 40s, nobody understood that a migraine wasn't just a headache. And so that's really unfortunate. And they also didn't have the medicine that they do now. So I'm glad I live in modern times where there is medicine to take, as opposed to when my great grandmother was around. But I still wish that there could be something that would prevent me from getting migraines at all. And I'm sure that all migraine sufferers feel the same way. All right, so now we're getting into the embellishments. So I pulled a bunch of random stuff from my stash. The Right Now sticker is a puffy sticker from Vicky Boot and Sweet Rush. There's a cloud raining sticker that I think is, no, I don't know. I was going to say Pretty Little, I think it's Echo Park, actually. I've also got some stickers that I got from Michael's, their Recollections brand. I took one of those stickers and cut it in half, so it's got like a floral wreath going around, and I just cut it in half, and so there were words in the center, so you don't see the words, but you do see the floral wreath, and then I stuck those stickers onto an orange pattern paper circle that I'd cut out from a Pink Fresh pattern paper. I've got an embellishment cluster at the very bottom that I'm working on, an Ellie Studio journaling tag, the Everything Will Be Okay sticker. That's what I was talking about before. I like that for this. And then adding some enamel dots, an old Amy Tangerine sticker. I've got some Simple Stories I Am on here as well. Just to, again, see like a lot of random stuff, and then using up some leftover enamel dots from last month's Best of Both Worlds kit to kind of fill out these embellishment clusters. I'm going to do the title coming up in a second, and I do the title, and then after I do the journaling, I realize that the title is kind of the opposite of what it was supposed to be. And I think I just got a little confused. I'm not going to go back and change it. I don't really care. Yeah, suppose so. The hashtag was share the pain behind the smile, and I end up doing the smile behind the pain. So, I mean, it still sort of makes sense because I am smiling. The pain is at like the front and center for me, but I'm still smiling behind it, if that makes sense. I think it makes sense. I used a smile sticker from the Simple Stories collection. I did the words "the" using some Doodlebug alpha stickers. The word behind is with Pink Fresh Puffy Alphas, and then the word pain is with some Bella Boulevard Florence alphabet stickers. And yes, I do use a letter V to make an A because I didn't have any more A's. And so that's how I like to do my alphas. I will MacGyver an alpha. Sometimes I do try to like take like a period sticker, a little circle sticker, and stick it in the middle of a V so that it looks like there's an A, the bar of the A going across. I didn't do that in this case because I just don't really care. But you can do that. There are ways to use alphas in other ways that are not their normal alpha, if that makes sense. But I really love the Florence alphas, and I really like how this utilizes a bunch of different alphabet stickers from my stash. And I keep talking about this like a whole lot. You think that I was doing a Shop Your Stash challenge this year, but I'm not. I keep buying stuff, and then I keep using up a bunch of random stuff from my stash. So it's kind of the best of both worlds, right? So I did my journaling, but I did stop because I needed to go back and make sure I knew the specific name of the month and also the date. Although I'm looking at it right now and I don't have the date down. So I need to put that down somewhere, don't I? That's the whole reason why I stopped writing, so I could look it up on my phone afterward. Anyway. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. I hope that was inspiring for you. I hope that you participate in the Challenge Yourself Challenge. Don't forget the link is down below in the description box. And click that subscribe button if you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time. Bye.